This is Apple's latest and greatest Series 7 Apple Watch, but this isn't your typical standard Series 7. This one happens to be the Nike edition, and what separates this one from the standard one is not only does it start at a standard retail price for the small and the large size screen option, which means you can purchase this one in a smaller 41mm, but the one we have here is the 45, and the 41 starts at the standard Apple Watch price of $399. And then if you up for the larger screen model, the 45mm starts at $429, all depending on the Apple Watch band you combo it with. But the Nike edition, however, only comes available in two body colors to choose from. Both are aluminum. You have the new Skylight and the Midnight. The one that I personally picked up, this is the Midnight, and the Midnight's actually a lot darker compared to the previous space gray. It's almost has like a blue tint as well. If we compare it against the Series 6 Midnight Blue that I have, it looks really good, to be honest. I like the actual dark tone compared to space gray. Space gray had like a light tone to it. This isn't that bad if you're looking for a close to black color option. Now, there's two different band choices to choose from. Going with the Nike version, you have the standard loop like we have here. It's slightly redesigned as now it actually shows the Nike logo, when previously the standard Nike loop, literally the only Nike logo there was inside the band. However, unlike the older Nike band, the new one with the new redesigned body does not use reflective yarn. The other one was reflective, perfect for outdoor running, easier for you to be spotted. This one no longer has that reflective yarn, unfortunately. But now it's obvious that this is a Nike loop band. And then you have the one with the holes, and comes available in 4 color choices to choose from. Just however, one important thing to highlight is yes, the loop can also be purchased in 4 different colors. 4 colors to choose from. And the 4th one is the Pride loop band, which comes included if you combo it this way. The LTE version is also available, and that's the one we have here, and you can tell if it's an LTE version when you see the red ring around the digital crown. Now, minor updates to the Series 7 is the massive one is obviously the new body redesign, where it's slightly rounder, but you can only notice the difference when you really look at the display, as the display is again slightly larger as it's more curvier than ever before. Really does give you a lot of real estate space, especially when it comes to viewing text. But in terms of performance, disappointingly, internally it's using the same chipset that was found in the Series 5, the SE, and the Series 6. It's just relabeled, unfortunately. So the performance between these 3 Apple Watches are 100% identical. The only internal improvement is the increased charge rate, as the Series 7 is 30% quicker than the Series 6 to charge. So an 8-minute charge will give you 8 hours of additional battery life. And now comes standard with a USB-C puck for the Apple Watch to charge it, and this is how it's able to take advantage of that fast charging. Other than that, still has the same 18 hours all day battery life, all depending how active you are. If you always constantly utilize the heart rate sensor and other sensors inside it, like for your workouts and stuff like that, you'll probably get 18 hours. But if you don't, you could expect the watch to make it 1.5 days. From my personal experience, that's what I've seen. Now, since the screen options available is 1mm bigger, I did notice the UI is slightly larger. Maps look significantly better. It's easier to navigate and actually use the map app on the Apple Watch for once. And you get 2 additional exclusive watch faces. You get a 3rd one if you get the Nike version, as you get these additional Nike edition watch faces. And then if you tap on the Nike logo, you'll notice it's actually a shortcut, a complication shortcut that will launch the Nike Run app, freeing 1 complication. That's one of the pros and reasons why I prefer going with the Nike version Apple Watch, because it costs the same as the standard one. If you plan on getting the standard one, especially if you choose the Midnight or the Starlight color, you might as well get the Nike version and just swap the Apple Watch band if you're not a fan of the Nike ones. And you can swap it with something more formal like a leather one or another third-party one of your choice, or you go first party if you like. But going with the Nike version, again, you get exclusive Nike watch faces to choose from. It does come pre-installed with the Nike Club app. This just allows you to monitor your outdoor runs, gives you a little more data than your typical standard integrated running app. Like, it'll actually show you a little mini map of your distance and all that good stuff. But this app is not exclusive to this Apple Watch. You could download this even on a non-Nike Apple Watch. The app is available to download on the App Store, in other words, for all other Apple Watches. And then previously, Nike had some exclusive color choices to pick for your watch faces. Now these colors are also available on the non-Nike edition Apple Watches. So you can find additional colors if you tap the plus icon, and you can add the ones you want to add. So it's pretty awesome that now there's no exclusivity colors. Design differences is you do get a Nike logo back here for the Nike version. Besides that, comparing the grill cutouts from the previous generation, the Series 6, it's one slot this time, not two individual ones. Now the glass is much thicker than ever before, as this is Apple's most durable Apple Watch yet, which is perfect and good to know, especially if you're an outdoor person who's always constantly active. If you fall, less likely to screen cracking, but honestly, if you find yourself in these type of conditions, I would highly recommend considering getting a full body case or some type of protection for your Apple Watch. It's not a cheap device to begin with. I wouldn't really risk damaging it when a $20 bumper could protect it from preventing you from getting a repair or buying a new entire Apple Watch. Now, new for the Series 7, exclusively for the Series 7, is you actually have a full row keyboard, which does support swipe gestures and does actually have auto prediction. So if there's a misspelling here and there, the Apple Watch is smart enough to fill in and correct that. Auto correction, right? And then if you do happen to do a mistake and you want to manually reset it, you could either tap on it, but I personally prefer using the digital crown and just select the text, go back and just correct it like so. Really easy. I don't know why MKHD on his video was complaining about this. It's really minor. He just used the digital crown to select. Easy. Now, before there was third-party apps like FlipType, as a fine example, which was available on the Series 6 and older Apple Watches. That's on the latest firmware update of watchOS 8. I was going to recommend this, but this suspiciously was removed by Apple from the App Store, so you can no longer download this app, which is really sad. And there is this lawsuit between them and Apple now. I just thought this was really sus, Apple, for doing this. Back to the video at large. Now, other important bits about the Series 7 Apple Watch is that this is the first Apple Watch with an official IP6X dust resistant rating. But from my personal experience, 6, 7, Series 3, even older Apple Watches, I never had an issue going in the sand with this. Never once had mud cause any damage to my pre-generation Apple Watches. So these things were extremely resistant from water and dust. And yes, it is still continuing to have a water resistant rating up to 50 meters, which is more than enough to go casually swimming in a pool or a lake or the beach or whatever, so long as you're not deeper than 50 meters. Now, always on display is much brighter compared to the Series 6, but honestly, from my real world experience, it's not that much of a difference to be a massive deal breaker for anybody considering the Series 6 and upgrading to the Series 7. So I really don't see that. And other important things to mention in terms of internal sensors, health sensors, heart rate sensor built in, ECD carries on from the Series 6 to the Series 7, and it also has fall detection. So literally nothing has changed here. We didn't receive a glucose monitoring sensor. That's coming out next year according to leaks, but they're not really all that accurate. This was supposed to be square and this is obviously round. So in terms of health sensors or new improvements in the health activity monitoring, nothing has really changed between the 6 and the 7 really. Now, Apple markets with this new Edge display hardware, which looks awesome on paper, but in actuality, from the user's point of view, you really don't notice this. It's only the people around you that may actually see the Edge display just like edge out on the corners. All in all, final verdict, honestly, if you're upgrading from the Series 6, I really don't see a reason to, unless you just have to have the latest and greatest Apple Watch. Series 7 is going to be your option. Series 5 owners, again, just like the Series 6, I don't really see a reason to upgrade unless you want those new colors It does have a slightly brighter always on display, but when you compare the two side by side, it's not really that noticeable. Plus, the always on display is bright enough for indoors, which is where I normally find myself most of the time, to be honest. Now, if you own a Series 4, you waited long enough. I think 2 years, and about 2 years is a good reason to upgrade. And you also get to take advantage of the additional storage internally that you could find on the Series 6 compared to the Series 4. Series 4 storage was somewhat limited, only if you store all your music on the device or download a lot of apps. Series 3 owners, don't buy the Series 3. Don't even consider buying it brand new. If you have the Series 3, now's a good time to upgrade to the Series 7 or even the SE. The SE, in my opinion, still is the best value Apple Watch, in my opinion. And I'm being serious. And if you'd like to see a comparison video between the Series 7 and the SE, stay tuned as I got that coming out very soon. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that. So if you got some great full information out of this video, really appreciate it if you could actually leave this video a like. Those will help me out a lot. And get subscribed. Again, I got more Apple Watch content coming out in the near future. If you're curious what type of accessories I'm personally using on my device, you can go ahead and check out that video over there as I go through my favorite accessories. And then that video next to that one, that's just a video YouTube is recommending specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.